been a fat minute since we did one of these. I have my mic fixed. Got time on my hands now. We're gonna start getting back to these regularly as we should be doing. I appreciate everybody who did one on their own and people who helped others with them over this time I haven't been able to do them. That means a lot. We know this is one of the best things about the league is these videos. In a second, Gavin's going to be joining, the 49ers user. He's running a little behind. So we're going to go ahead and go through some basic stuff. Everybody, we're in week 8 at this point. Make sure that you're not switching players' abilities around. If they've already got superstar ability or X Factor. Now, if they get like X Factor, if you have a player that devs up to X Factor, then you can change his X Factor ability, as an example, and so on and so forth. If you think people are breaking rules, you need to make sure that you're, sending something to them, like a message, asking them to stop. If they're continuing or if they're not responding, stuff like that, make sure you get a hold of a commissioner to go ahead and fix that issue. Um, commissioners are myself, Jason, I'm the Jaguars user, Dean, he's the Packers user, Dwayne, he's the Cowboys user, Saban, he's the Dolphins user, Leslie, he's the Browns user, and Peso, he's the Lions user, as well as Twan, he's the Titans user. I'm trying to think of things to go over. I think that's going to be pretty much it. We're going to go through some basic stuff until Gavin gets here, and then we'll hit the predictions. Let's look at some stats. I know a few games have been played so far. Look at so it might be a little outdated, but on the year, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, first year with the Packers, leads in passing yards. I want to say he's either tied or leads touchdowns as well. He's tied with Tanner Morgan at 29. Really good rates here. Tanner Morgan, Kyler Murray, even Dwayne Haskins to an extent, all have really good touchdown interception rates. Good percentages and things like that too. Rushing, looks like Ezekiel Elliott leads the league 750 yards. Puka, first year with Dolphins at 727. And of course, Austin Eckler and Zeus White. Touchdowns probably going to be Zeke as well. It is with 11. Cam Akers has 10. Only 377 yards, but 10 touchdowns. So he's getting it done. Most fumbles goes 10 to Deshaun Watson. We are 8 weeks into the year. The fact that these guys have this many fumbles is absolutely ridiculous. 9 for Dorian Thompson-Robinson and 10 for Deshaun Watson. That's over a fumble a game. Broken tackles, 30 for Zeke, 28 for Cam Akers. Nobody's really even in the ballpark. Those two guys are in a league of their own. Let's see here. Receiving, Tamori and Terry, averaging 34.8 yards a catch, 1,219 yards, leads the league. Jalen Waddle, only other receiver over 1,000. These two guys look like they're in a competition. 41 for 1,008 for Waddle. Keyshawn Butte, rookie for the Dolphins, leads the league in receptions, followed by Anthony Schwartz. Touchdowns, it looks like that's probably going to be Butte as well. 19 for Keyshawn Butte, 15 for Jalen Waddle. Really good stuff there. Let's see here. Blocking, no sacks given up from these three guys. These two make sense, Zach Martin and Quentin Nelson, but this one, Nate Davis, is a little surprising. It's someone you don't normally see up there. 7 from Tristan Wirfs and Jarrett Patterson. Defensively, 3 guys tied at 51. That's Devin Bush, Tremaine Edmonds, and Devin White. Tackles for loss, 15 from Eric Donald leads the way. That's crazy. 14 from Kayvon Thibodeau. 12 from Tremaine Edmonds. Sack-wise, looks like 9.5 from Cam Jordan. Kayvon Thibodeau with 7. Xavier Thomas and Khalil Mack and Von Miller as well with 6.5. Interceptions, this is easy. Yep. Devad Wilson with 19 is fucking insane halfway through the season. Jabril Cox and Isaac Taylor Stewart each have 11 through 7 games. That's also pretty fucking ridiculous. And then we got a couple other guys. 9 for Jabril, 8 for the Honey Badger. Deflections, 10 from Kendall Sheffield leads the way. Forced fumbles, Cam Jordan and Dre Greenlaw, first year with the Hawks, each have 3 there. Fumble recoveries, a couple guys have 2. I'm seeing a big difference in fumble yards right here for Jannard Avery. Safeties, Brian Breesy, Sean Bradley, and Jalen Thompson each have a safety. And defensive touchdowns, Wilson and Tyrann Mathieu each have 5. 4 from Jabril Cox. Kicking. All important one right here, man. We all know how important this is. Looks like 2 guys 10 for 10, Matt Gay and Eddie Pinheiro, both having really great years. A 58-yard from Matt Gay. That's pretty fucking ridiculous. Punting. Breezing through these. I don't really care about yards. I care about average. A 51.2 for Jamie Gillen. Kick returns. Anybody have one yet this year? Jalen Rieger has ridiculous numbers there. 29 yards per fucking return. He's also got a touchdown. Punt returning. Rondell Moore has one. Is that Kylan Hill? That is Kylan Hill with one. Looks like that's going to be over the pass. So let's look at some team stats. Alright, so total offensive yards. The Jaguars lead the way, followed by the Bears and the Packers. Only people over 3,000. Passing yards, most by the Packers, least by the Colts. Rushing yards, least by the Panthers at only 200. That is ridiculous with Christian McCaffrey on your roster. Also, Giants have Saquon Barkley down here at 420. That is not going to cut it. Derrick Henry and only 443 for the Titans. Y'all got to bump these numbers up. Falcons at 1,267 leads the league, and it's not even close. How's it going, Gavin?
Hi.
We're just going over some team stats. Lowest points per game for the moment, the Colts have 11.3. Most by the Jaguars at 53.1. Let's see here. Defensively, most by the yards given up by the Raiders, over 3,000 already. At least given up by the Steelers, and the Saints and the Broncos, all up there. Least amount of passing yards by the Titans. Most by the Cardinals. Least amount of rushing yards by the Cardinals. Most by the Texans. Sacks, 4 by the Rams, 23 by the Saints, leads the league. Points given up, Steelers first at 70, Jaguars also under 100 at 90. Panthers have given up 286. Interceptions, 6 from the Jets is the lowest in the league. 38 by the Jaguars leads the league. Fumble recoveries, a whole bunch of people at 0. 6 for the Steelers and the Seahawks each. Conversion percentage, this is a big one here. Third down conversion percentage, Chargers lead 62%, 32% for the Cowboys, and the Buccaneers is not going to cut. Wow, Twan down here, 38%. Jesus. Okay. Red zone efficiency. Wow, this is impressive. Do you know how hard it is not to turn the ball over one time in the red zone? Not once. Jimmy
Who is it?
It's Jimmy. He has 22 touchdowns and 4 field goals on with 0 turnovers in the red zone, 100% offensive percentage. The Bills, Giants, Jaguars, and Falcons are all at 90% or higher. Lowest goes to the Vikings, only scoring 47% of the time. Colts and Bucks also down there. The lowest amount of defensive red zone trips is 10 by the Bears, 11 by the Jags, a couple people with 12. Most is 34 to the Raiders. Red zone points percentage. Jaguars are letting people score less than half of the time they get in the red zone at 45%. It's pretty ridiculous. Saints at 50% is also really impressive. If you get in the red zone, the Cowboys, though, you're scoring 100% of the time. Let's see, last thing we'll look at. Turnover differential. Jags are positive 31. Dolphins positive 24. Giants positive 22. Steelers positive 20. And everybody else just kind of mixed in. Rams at negative 19, as well as the Pats is the worst in the league. 1 second. I need to put my mic up. Okay. All right. Let's look at the players of the week. Gavin, do you wanna meet me at players of the week?
Yeah, I'm getting to that right now.
All right. Go ahead and take the NFC players when you get there.
For NFC, Tanner Morgan, 549 passing yards and 8 touchdowns. And then Shaquille Griffin with 3 interceptions and sack.
Man, I sure wish I could throw 8 touchdowns with Kyler Murray, but I have to pull him by the start of the third quarter. I guess when you don't play defense like the Giants do, you don't have that issue. AFC Offensive Player of the Week, Kyler Murray, 20 of 26. We got off to a really bad start. 2 out of my first 3 passes were interceptions, and I've only thrown 4 all year. It was really not like me, and we rebounded well. 20 of 26, 369 passing yards, 6 passing touchdowns. We had 7 carries for 164 yards, including an 87-yard touchdown run. And this AFC defensive one is just fucking stupid. It's the most impressive one on this page. Even more impressive than 8 passing touchdowns. 8 tackles, 4 picks, and 3 defensive touchdowns. That's ridiculous. He might win MVP with a defensive back. All right, let's get over to these predictions. Daddy Leagues is already updated. Let me pull it up though, so I can make sure I give the correct records. A few games have been played so far. I got a few underway. It looks like Cleveland and the Rams played 28-7 at halftime, and that would end up being the final score. The Browns had 107 yards of total offense. That was it, and they won the game. Turnovers must have been crucial in this one. 3 picks by Jared Goff. 25 rushing yards led the. This is just bad offensive football. Rookie from Michigan caught a touchdown. Let me see how many pick sixes here. It looks like 2 pick sixes, I'm gonna guess, from the Browns. Yeah. Jordan Battle and Grady Williams each had pick sixes. Very bad offensive day. Not turnover wise, I'm guessing must have been a lot of punts. We got the Jets, the Bills. Buffalo was all over New York, 50-17 here. It was 37-17 at halftime, and they just kind of cruised their way to the final. Josh Allen threw 4 scores. Oh god, I don't know how to say this. Uagalele, I think is how you say it. 6 picks. Not a good day. Drop Parker, 7 carries, 106 yards, 2 touchdowns. Receiving, Charleston Rambo went over 100. 107. Defensively, looks like 2 picks from Melifonwu. That is it. Alright, so let's get into the predictions here. First, we got the Cardinals and the Panthers. This game is already underway, I believe, but I don't think it's being streamed. It didn't have to be. So, I'm going to assume that we don't have a scoring update on that. The records are... One second. My phone's being ridiculously slow. Alright, Gavin, despite not having records, who do you think is going to win this game?
I know Panthers can sometimes keep up with good users. Like I know he beat Falcons this year, and he's beaten Cardinals last year. But I think it'll be a close game. But I think Rob's going to win by 1 score.
I like watching the Panthers user play. When he doesn't turn the ball over, he can stick with people. He has to get Christian McCaffrey more involved. The fact that we're 6-7 games into the year and he has 200 yards rushing on the year, like for as a team, is ridiculous. He has to give him the ball. I think if he does that, he's got a really good chance to win. But I think Rob is a really underrated user in this league, and I'm going to take the Cardinals to win this game by 14. I'll call it 14. The 3-4 and 1-5, by the way. All right, so the Seahawks are 4-3. Absolute shootout with the Bengals last week. He lost. Eagles are 3-3. They've kind of rebounded. This game is probably also underway. Marcus is one of the better offensive users in the league, while T-Lou is one of the worst as far as interceptions go. Plays solid defense. It's going to be an interesting game. You play Seattle a lot, so I'm going to hear your prediction first.
I actually think he has one of the best defenses in the league. Like, he doesn't allow much points. And I know his offense, if you don't know how to stop Metcalf, it's going to be a problem stopping him. So I think this game's going to be a blowout.
Okay. I do like the Seahawks big here. Next, we got the Steelers at the Browns. Steelers are 4-2. Browns are 5-2. First time these two teams met, Steelers upset the Browns a few weeks back. They kind of slowed down, took 2 losses the last couple weeks. Close games, nonetheless. So I know he's looking to get back to his winning ways. Cincinnati got a big win last week over the Seahawks. So I know he's riding high on momentum here. Playoff quick is here. He said he's not losing another game this year. I don't think it's going to start here. I'm going to take the Bengals to win this game, get some revenge. I don't think it'll be particularly close, but that Steelers defense is legit. He plays good defense. If he ever gets that offense rolling, he's going to be a top 10 user in this league. I'm going to take Cincinnati by 17 here, probably 24-7, I'll say.
I don't really know much about Steelers, but I don't think he can beat Bengals twice.
All right, all the way down here to the Broncos at the Chiefs. Broncos are 6-0. Chiefs 2-4. Chiefs stuck with the Chargers last week in a shootout game, but he lost at the end. Since the Broncos have traded Puka and picked up Tua, their yardage they've gone way down in running and way up in passing, and he's winning more games. He's looked really good this year with Tua man in the fourth there at quarterback instead of I think like a 70 overall Kyle Trask he had last year. I expect Jay Will to be all over Darrell in this one. I'm taking the Broncos big. Give me 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, I think this game's going to be a blowout too. I don't think there's any way he's going to be able to stop that Broncos offense.
Next, we have the 2-4 Ravens playing the 0-6 Colts. Um, Colts have not been very good defensively at stopping the pass. Luckily for him, the Ravens run the ball a lot. So I think that he has a chance to keep this game close. But it just depends on Chap's playing his normal self. This year he hasn't played very well. I think he's going to get a good momentum boost here. Get himself back in the talks for that division. I'm going to take the Ravens on the road here.
I think if the Colts can contain Lamar, that he's going to be able to have a shot at winning this game.
Next, we have the Cowboys at the Vikings. Cowboys are 0-5-1. Vikings are 0-7. Herc has not looked good when he's played, and he hasn't played all his games this year. I've already heard talks about this one being the Cowboys' force win. So don't look too much into this. If they do play, it could be a relatively decently close game. I think I'd still take Dwayne to win, though.
Yeah, I think Dwayne's going to get his first win this game.
Pats at 2-5, playing the 1-6 Raiders. Raiders haven't won a game this year. Last week was a forced win. Pats is whenever he plays really what he is like light and dark, man. He can beat good people, and he can play people tough, but then sometimes he'll give up 70 points and throw 8 picks. Um, so it's just hot or cold, depends on what you're going to get here. I think that he's going to play a good game. He's going to play solid defense. I'm going to take the Patriots to win this game on the road.
I don't really know what's happened to the Raiders. Like, he was a playoff team the first couple 2 years, and he's kind of fallen off these last 2 years. I think this will probably be like a close game, but I'm going to take the Raiders.
2-4 Bucks playing on the road with the 4-2 Titans. Titans have not been running the ball very much. They've been passing a lot. But that's good for them because the Bucks cannot stop the pass at all. He has a really good team at stopping the run. Vita Vea is pretty impressive down there. But I expect Tennessee and Twan to be just. This game's going to be over at halftime.
Yeah, this will probably be a blowout pretty quick if Tampa Bay even plays him, but I'm guessing McCole Hardman will go for about 200 yards.
All right, we'll skip these next two because they're the games of the week. Now we got the Saints at the Lions. Saints are 7-0. Jimmy's look good. Lions are 2-4. He's kind of started to figure. Pesos kind of got himself head back in the right direction these past couple weeks. He's just facing a juggernaut here. I think he's going to have his hands full with this one, especially with OBJ and Michael Thomas. Give me the Saints here on the road by a couple scores at least.
I think Peso's going to be able to keep it close, but I don't think there's a way he's going to beat Jimmy.
All right, next two are the two games of the week. We have the 6-1 Redskins playing the 7-0 Packers. Oh man, this one is interesting. Skins took their first loss of the year last week. I want to say, let me check. Yeah, he lost 34-10 to drop. Desmond Ridder is hard to keep up with. I think that Dean doesn't play the best defense. He runs a lot of man. He's going to run more zone to have more success. But I think he's a better user than the football team. They both pass a lot, and Dean's better at it. So I'll take the Packers to win this game at home. Give me 10 points, 14 points, something like that.
Yeah, I know football teams has like a good record, but I just think Dean's a way better user and he'll adapt quicker. I think his defense is just better than the Redskins.
I don't know about that. Neither one of them are the most impressive defensive users. Next, this one is one I'm really excited to see. Savon is 6-1 with his Dolphins playing the 5-1 Giants. Giants haven't lost since week 1. It was to the Saints. They had a chance to win the game at the end and didn't. Tanner Morgan's been putting up impressive numbers. Giants have looked really, really good. I think this is one of those weeks you're going to have to run the ball with Saquon Barkley. You're not going to beat Savon passing every down. It's not going to happen. I think if you get Saquon involved, If he can do some short passes, hit Chark over the middle, move people around, I think that Eflot's going to have a real shot to keep this game close. Now, I don't think he's going to win, but I'm going to take the Dolphins to win this game by, let's call it 14 on the road. I'll take 14. I'll say it's pretty close until the fourth quarter, and Eflot throw pick six or something. Um, but yeah, Dolphins defense is really impressive. Savant's playing really, really good football.
I know Efi has like he lets up a lot of points, but he also probably scores top five in the league, and I don't think there's a way his offense will be able to score nearly as much as Savon's will. So I'm going to take Savon to win this game by over 20.
All right, that's gonna do it for the predictions video. I appreciate you joining, Gavin. Everybody, make sure you're playing your games and streaming the games that's supposed to be streamed. And everybody have a good week.